Hi and welcome to video blog number 7 for my Ecomp 355 blog. Today we're going to talk about social justice, social media, and the teacher. Can the internet be a place to inspire and affect real change? How does social media impact social justice? And what can we do as a teacher to impart ideas about social justice onto our students? First, let's take a look at social justice and social media. In my second video blog for this class, I took a look at social change on Twitter. I discussed briefly the idea that Twitter could be used to inspire real social change. I spoke about hashtags that inspired and rallied actual political and social movements. For those of you who missed it, some of the key topics I touched on were hashtags like Idle No More, Am I Next, Black Lives Matter, but there are so many more hashtags for social justice. To look at some more recent hashtags that have had huge impacts, we can take a look at things like Je suis Charlie, Why I Stayed, and the Ferguson hashtag. And even more recently, there are hashtags like Porte Ouvert, a hashtag that was used to help people find safe places during and immediately after the attacks in Paris. There are also hashtags that simply showed support, like the hashtag Pray for Paris that came up at the same time. There's even right now a hashtag to monitor what's happening at the Paris Climate Change Convention. That's hashtag COP21. So, how do we use these hashtags to affect real social change? Well, that will vary depending on the event, but if you look into many of the hashtags I've already mentioned, you'll find very real examples of social media making a real difference. This also brings up another hashtag SJW, the Social Justice Warrior Movement. If you search SJW on the internet, you'll find a barrage of sites, articles, and posts denouncing SJW as a derogatory term for people who have also been called keyboard warriors. The term started with the negative view that SJW stood for people who argued and defended everything on the internet, from the hypocritical stance where they argued for justice online but did nothing to back it up in real life. Many people use the term SJW as an insult in heated online debates. However, after this initial surge of negativity, some true social justice warriors adopted the hashtag and are using it to make a real difference. It is no longer, as the site Know Your Meme describes it, a pejorative term for an argumentative social media user. SJWs are making a real difference. For a musical rendition of this idea, check out Jonathan Mann's Yes, I'm a Social Justice Warrior. Warning, there is some language, but I will link to the video below. So, as a teacher, how do we address and discuss social justice in our classroom? The Canadian Journal for Education has an article entitled Shifting Out of Neutral: Beginning Teachers' Struggles with Teaching for Social Justice by Deirdre M. Kelly and Gabrielle Minnis-Brandis. In this article, they follow 12 beginning teachers and in an attempt to dispel myths about teacher neutrality in terms of engaging students and teaching for social justice. It's a great read, especially for new teachers. The link is posted below. They conclude that teacher neutrality is not only undesirable, but it is impossible. The philosopher Edmund Burke sums up a state of neutrality in a few very critical quotes. First off, he said, "All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent." Also, he said that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Social justice is not an idea that started with social media. It has been with us and will be important to us as long as we continue to be members of a society. In the modern world, that membership starts to take on a new meaning. As the internet creates, as Marshall McLuhan says, a global village. In short, do not allow people to see your silence as consent. Instead, choose to be a social justice warrior, whether it's with a hashtag or not, and speak out against the things you disagree with. Thanks for listening, and be forewarned that I will not allow tyranny to gain a foothold or for evil to triumph. I will use the trust and responsibility given to me as a teacher to empower real social change, be it in myself, my students, or my social network. Thanks for listening, and feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. We'll talk again soon.